All right. Hello, everybody. I'm a little late only because I thought the live was on and it wasn't. But y'all know me. I've got to have a fanfare before I get everything together. So I'm going to do my little intro. Y'all hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Because I want you to see my guests.
In a world where decisions cast a shadow, generational turnaround, we rise to follow. For the young, the purpose denied. We bring truth, proof, no longer to hide. Generational turnaround, we're on the scene. Interviewing the wrong lead, convicted so keen that God knows, making choices astray. Turning them from walking a dangerous way. The numbers of the youth, staggering it seems. They believe in any means, even extreme. But we call upon God as our first reaction. Offering an alternative of divine attractions. She'll disappear, who been where they aspire. To detour them to show a path that's higher. A profitable outcome, pleasing to God's sight. Benefiting the 99%, shining a guiding light. Generational turnaround, open doors wide for more people to thrive. No one left behind, seeking truth, unraveling the why. One wrong decision, a turnaround we defy. Generational turnaround, the podcast of truth, bringing undeniable proof.
And y'all also saw my guest for
In a world where decisions
Saturday.
cast a
He's
shadow,
on there
generational
too.
turnaround, we rise to
Let
follow.
me get up. All right. All right. All right. Y'all know I be trying, but I'm getting better. Everybody know I'm getting better. So I'm going to bring our guests. But first, I want to say thank you for being Generational Turnaround Podcast, where we seek the truth and then we bring you the proof by the guests that I invite in here. You see, they're all are specialists in their field. And so when we talk about generational turnaround, we're going to turn around some of this, everything that's trying to stop the growth of our young people. And that's not happening. Okay. So let me introduce you to our special guest, Jessica Henry. Come on, Jessica. Let me see if I can get you on here. All
Hello.
right. All right, Jessica. Thank you, baby. Where you look like you're outside, where it's beautiful, wherever you are.
Yes, I'm on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We just left from practice, so it's wonderful that we can join you here on today at this time.
Oh, all right. That's home for me.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
and I'm gonna be there on September the 6th and the 7th with Jessica. Shoot, and Jessica James Henry. Okay, now there got to be a story about that, but we gonna touch up on that because
That's
we got
right.
both same. You got the middle name, and that's mine. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
that used to be my name.
Awesome.
So let's get started. First of all, I want to tell you all a little bit about Jessica by reading her bio. Jessica James Henry, also known as the Queen of Breakthrough Strategy, is a global health ambassador, a four-time international best-selling author, a global speaker, and top 40 under 40 class of 2024, awarded by the Mississippi Business Journals. Y'all don't know who I have in here, do you? Okay, let me tell you this. With over 13 years of experience in pharmaceutical and behavior healthcare, Jessica has dedicated herself to serving clients and conducting research on global public health issues. Wow. She holds a Master of Science degree in Public Health Science, specializing in behavioral health education and promotion. Jessica's personal journey of triumph over domestic violence and sexual abuse has fueled her passion for raising awareness on physical and psychological violence. Through workshops and presentation, she shares her extensive expertise with corporate and nonprofit agencies. Don't miss this opportunity to gain invaluable insights from her professional experience in advocacy work. So we gonna talk to Jessica about all that because it was
All
it
right.
was a lot. And y'all heard me. I didn't study and I didn't miss anything. So I am proud of me, Jessica. So, Jessica, please come in and even though I read this bio,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
tell us what you want us to know about Jessica James Henry.
Awesome. Well, first, thank you so much, Miss Judy, for having me on today. And you are right, that name James is actually my middle name now. It was my maiden name before, but now I got married into a Henry, and that's a part of me being a generational curse breaker. That's what I am, and
Yeah,
also, yes, a trauma advocate. So within that, what I've learned is to be myself. And the first thing that I'm proud of being is a child of God. All those different things on my resume, I did that out of flight. And I can say that now, but I did out of flight because I was trying so hard to truly gain in success and reach my goals after those traumatic experiences. I said I gotta do something. So you can either go to flight or freeze. I went to flight. I was like, hey, I fear of not getting it done. So I'm just gonna do all I can and just reach my goals. If it's on my mind, if God put it in my heart, I'm gonna do it. So was hearing that bio being read, I was like, yeah, that's a lot, but it did. It happened. It's documented, and anything that you did in real life, it can be proved and it can be documented. So all that is actually true, and I thank God for that. But yeah, it took hard work. But even when after that is all said and done, I'm most probably being a woman of God, a child of God.
that's beautiful, Jessica. That's beautiful. Because there's so many women that has gone through this sexual in domestic violence in mental anguish and they did not they're not where you are right now, but your transparency is
Yes.
going to help someone who don't know where to start. So that's why I need you to tell them where you started. I need you to tell your story. And then
Yes.
I'm going to ask some questions, but I need you to uncensored
Mm.
transparency that helps, that's going to help somebody. Because where did you come from and what what put you in this situation where you went through domestic sexual mental anguish abuse?
Yes. Thank you for that question. Yes, ma'am. It did start. It started at an early age. From being sexually assaulted as a young girl. First, I was groomed by someone that was very close to the family. After that grooming happened, I got a little older, and then I was sodomized. So just let that sink in. After that, you know something bad has happened to you as a young child, but you don't know exactly what it is. But when I got older, God revealed it to me. Oh, that's what that was. Because a lot of times different traumatic experiences happen to us as children and we block it out of our mind. It's out of our subconscious mind. So when we get older and our brain develops more, now it's like it clicks. Wow, I think I was molested. Wow, I think I was raped, or whatever the case may be. That's what it comes up as. So after those different situations and that experience, I had bad choices in me, and my partners were so bad because I had low self-esteem and I used self-sabotage as a way to cope with that. So that means I hated myself more than the men hated me. More than they wanted to use me, I hated myself. So that's how I chose the bad choices in men. I had a very bad choice in men. I didn't know how to choose. See, I had the freedom to choose, but I didn't know how to choose. See, but what I should have been doing was seeking God first through meditation and prayer. But that's how I got out of that situation. So after being sexual assault as a young girl, bad choices as a teenager, then as a grown woman, met this guy, thought he was the one, had a child by him. I was abused while pregnant. It first started emotionally, verbally, then it went into financial abuse. Then it went into physical abuse. See, these are the different forms of abuse that you don't think about. A lot of times women and men may think that they've been abused only when you see a scar. There is abuse that's deeper than a scar. So many times people, over 80% of people who have been abused, it always starts emotionally. And that emotional abuse, they say, cuts deeper than the physical abuse. Because a scar can be healed within maybe a week or 30 days. But that emotional abuse, I'm telling you, 10 to 20 plus years. It runs deep with emotional abuse. And that's the psychological aspect of it, because it truly makes people lose their minds. It really does. So within getting out of all of that self-sabotage and bad habits, it was through seeking God through meditation and prayer. I got tired of myself, Judy. I got tired of Jessica in her own plan. I got tired of Jessica in her own ways. I got tired of Jessica telling God no. So I had to make up in my mind that I was going to give God my yes, a sincere yes, and see what He had for me. Because I said, obviously, you don't know what you're doing. You have messed up so many times. You need to go see, okay, what God has for you. He's the one that's always there. You know that. You know, it's something that was rooted in the foundation of me within my grandparents always instilling that in us. And then my personal experience with the Holy Spirit as a young girl, I knew God was real. So being an adult woman to say, okay, I need to start running from you, God, and I need to start running to you. I'm tired of running. So that's what it was. I got sick of myself and I had to make a change. And that's what I did. I first started seeking God through meditation and prayer and asking Him to guide me. God, lead me to the right people. Lead me to the right places. Help me, Lord God, to get the right career that's going to truly help me operate in my gifts given from you. Because we can do a lot of different things in the world. There's so much stuff that we can engage in, so many different opportunities. But is that what God calls you to do? Is that your gifting? Is that something that you are truly good at? You know, so we can choose anything. But I said, God, help me to choose the things that are going to truly help me operate my gift and work smart and not that hard.
And so, but where did you start? Where was the start of pornography? Putting all that behind you as much as you could. And when did you say, I'm going back to school? I'm going to start here. This is where I'm going to start. Where was that?
Yes.
What was that for you?
That start happened when I knew I had somebody else looking at me close up. When my son was born, that's when it started, Judy. When my son was born, I said, you know what? My son is going to be looking at me as an example. I want to make sure that I'm making the right example for my son. I want him to look at something, and I would hate for him to grow up and me being the one that's going to motivate him to try to finish school and do different things in his life and tell him not to give up. And then he might look at me and say, well, Mama, you never finished school, you gave up. And I said, I would hate for that to happen to me. So you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to go see what I need to do to finish the degree that I started. First, it was a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and Correctional Services. Finished that. After that, I said, you know what? I want to get my master's. I want to apply myself. I want to go higher. Because guess what? I want to motivate my children to go higher. So that's what I did within myself. I went higher. I got in those different environments. That's why I ended up overseas in Africa and Spain. Because I knew I needed to be in a different environment to see different things, to be able to think differently. See, I needed that
Went
renewing
to
of my
Africa?
mind.
You went to Africa and Spain, you said?
Yes, ma'am. That's why I did my public health research. That's what it started in South Africa.
What? Okay, you got to tell us more about that. Because here I am. I'm a young woman, and I'm still going through the abuse, and I can't see nothing but say Gulfport, Mississippi, I can't see going to any other country, not even any other state. So tell us how you got there.
Well, I got there because I did see it. No, I was in Byron, Mississippi, and I did see it. I saw myself going other places. I saw myself growing, and I saw it before it happened. So that's what's called vision. You have to see it before you see it. That's what lets you know that God is giving you a sign that it's yours. Go out there and get it. That's vision that comes from God. It don't come from us. We're not that great of people. I don't care what degree I've got, what certification or what experience I've had. We're not that great of people. All of this stuff comes from God. All the ideas, the creativity, the vision of, okay, I can see myself overseas. I need to go ahead and do this in public health. I need to do this research. I need to get around this group of people that are smarter than me so I can learn
Yes,
more. You see? Stop being
first thing.
intimidated by people and get around people that are smarter than you that can teach you something. See, that's what I was. I
Mhm.
was eager to learn. And that's how I got into South Africa because God gave me the vision that it was mine. But I had to apply
Write
myself
the
to get
vision.
there. Yes, ma'am.
Write
I
the
had to apply
vision.
myself and get there. And it was scary because I told my family, I never forget, I was like, I'm going to Africa for the summer, do some public health research with this group. Jackson State has this new program. They're going to pay for everything. So everything's paid for. I got on the list. I'm going to South Africa. They said, okay, whatever. December. By the time May came, I said, I just want to let y'all know again, I'm going to South Africa. So, I want to, make sure that we got the plans for somebody to keep my baby. And I started showing them documentation, and our meetings start coming up, and they started giving the brochures with all the information. They was like, what? You're going to Africa? Yes, I'm going. I'm serious about this. So really, I had to make that decision that, hey, it's either now or never. Because if I didn't have that experience, I'm telling you, Judy, it was like oh God, it was like a ultimate shift of my mindset when I saw that new country, when I was around those new people. I really saw how the world worked, and God just started downloading different ideas and creativity into me, and I was like, this is what I was made for. This is the group of people. These are the kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around people that's just talking about reality TV all day, talking about where we're gonna go eat at. I don't want to talk about that. I want to see how can I change the world? How can I make the world better? How can I be a better version of myself?
That is big. That's it. That's it. And you, like you said, how can I be a better version of myself? Why can't I believe that I can? This world is so large, so huge. It's not just Mississippi. It's not just the United States.
That's it.
Let's see how the other side lives. And
That's
so
it.
after now you said your child was with your mom
Yes,
who
my child was with my grandparents and my mom and her husband. So he was with both his sets of grandparents, the great grandparents and the grandparents. So God was good
okay,
because all of them were alive then. So I'm telling you, it was just meant to be. It
that
had
was
an amazing
favor.
support system.
That was favor. That was
Yes,
favor because you were supposed to be in Africa at that time.
yes,
So
ma'am.
here you are. Uh, you done pivoted from where you had been to way until where you were in Africa. What about Spain? How did you get there?
Yes, Spain came within my master's degree. There was this doctor that was there. He wanted to take some students to Spain to do public health research. So I was in I think my first year of my public health of my master's degree. The first year was done. And I was like, you know what? I want to have a different experience. I want to go see what Spain is like. They're known as the healthiest country in the world. So I said, oh, well, I want to go to Spain. Like, yeah, the healthiest country in the world. New perspective. Went to Spain, another phenomenal experience. You get to see another side of the world. You get new experiences with people. We went into the hospitals and met the physicians and saw how they worked. They have free health care. I was like, oh my goodness. It was just amazing on how they do different things. I said free health care. I was like, we need that in America. So now I'm thinking about public health policy and all these different things just by being over there a little time. So it was just amazing just to see how they did. And they were so less stressful in the medical, I would say the medical genre was very less stressful there too, Because a lot of times here, everything is so busy and just moving and grooving. Right at about probably 5 o'clock in the morning, everybody's moving fast. In Spain, they have a siesta every single day at 4 p.m. They shut down the whole country shut down for at least an hour or two for them to go to sleep, a siesta, and then they get back up and they go right back to it.
Okay, see, you wouldn't even think of that unless you actually was there, experienced that. And I'm just
That's
gonna
it.
say, I'm gonna add Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed. For the
Amen.
Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Now, right there, that
Yes, I
part
love it.
right there, that is what Jessica said. She did. She got up, she got out, and she experienced the world. And now she knows that there is more to life than this country right here.
That's it. I gotta see Asia next, Miss Julie. I gotta see what Asia's about. I have a cousin in Thailand right now, and I was like, you know what? I need the information when you get back. I want to go to Thailand too.
Oh, okay, Jessica. Okay, okay. That's one of my places that I got to go to Africa. So you
Oh
got to
wow.
go back with me to Africa since you've already been there.
Yes. Oh God. I'm talking about you have everything in Africa. You have the beaches, Sahara, safaris, deserts. You have the townships. Of course, those are the slums that they mostly show. But Africa is so rich,
It's,
so rich, and that's the part that I would love for our people more to see how rich their country is.
I know it is.
You're on mute. We got you
Thank
back now. You
you.
are.
Let me get to your profession. What role does communication play in turning around the relationship between parents and young people? Because that's what generational turnaround is about, turning around this right now. What's happening right now? And we need some answers. And I'm going to ask you that question again. What role does communication
Mhm.
play in turning around the relationship between parents and young people?
Yes, communication is very much needed because that's a verbal expression. If you don't know how to verbally express yourself in a respectful way as a parent, you are teaching those children to be disrespectful. Let those children know what you need from them, what you're going to tolerate, and what you're not going to tolerate. And then once they see you doing that verbally expressing themselves, they'll say, hey, mama. That's what my son does sometimes. Hey, mama, I have something to tell you. I don't feel like doing it right now. Okay, why not? Because I'm tired. Okay, go ahead and get you a 30-minute nap, and then we're going to get back to chores and homework. You see, so that verbal communication is what truly gives that generational turnaround. Because a lot of times back in the day, shut up, do what I said, and nothing more. You can't verbally express yourself in this house. That's how it was for some people. It's my way or the highway. Shut your mouth up. I'm the adult. You listen to me. You're the child. You shut up. And then a lot of times we grow up and see why some people are so insecure. Why so many people don't even know how to verbally express themselves. They don't even know how to speak to you because they've been told to shut up for so long. That's a generational curse. No verbal expression, no verbal freedom.
You're right. I'm 67, so I'm just going to say we were told because they were afraid of what would happen to us. Do as I say, do, not as I do. But
Mhm.
that was because they knew what was out there waiting for us. We had the clan to
Mm,
contend with. We had all kind of evil. So right now I'm hearing that, and it's being taken as a uh, not having a choice, but it wasn't. And so I just want to say that right now
I
because,
love that. Because
yeah,
that shows
it,
also the cultural aspect of it. Different
yes,
times. It was
yes,
a truly different time.
it was. It was. And so what we both saying is true.
Hmm.
What you saying that that people are afraid to express themselves because they were told to be quiet, or I don't want to hear that. Just do what I tell you to do. It Though that was not for the good
Yeah.
of the young person. And so right now there's a lot of people that are afraid to express that. We got million and billionaires who are keeping it inside of them because they're
Hmm.
afraid of rejection.
Yes.
They're afraid that, but what if they don't like it? Because I know I was one of those people.
Yes, ma'am. Me too.
So now, what strategies or techniques can be used to rebuild faith and trust between the parent and the young person?
Well, those strategies, first you start with that communicating, letting that child know, okay, this is what we can do, this is what's respected, this is what's not tolerated in this home. After you get that communication built, that's when the relationship is going to happen. And within that relationship, then you can get another strategy of doing a step, a plan for your household, whatever is beneficial for you. For example, in my household, I'll let my son know, okay, we have chores to do, yes, at a certain time each day. By 8 p.m., it's bedtime, and then we get up at 6 a.m. and do it all over again. But it's all according to what's needed in your home, because every home is truly different.
Yeah, every home is truly different, but still, you've got to set the rules. You've got to set them and then keep to them. And that's not happening. Some say, well, today it's a rule, tomorrow it's lax. And so the child starts to feel like you got the problem. You can't make up your mind from one day to the next.
Right. And you know
This
what makes
change,
that happen so many times, Miss Julie,
huh?
is burnout. So a lot of the parents are burnt out. They can't even take care of themselves, better yet to be able to take care of their children. So they're burnt out. So now you tell them to get a plan for your child, and they're like, you know what, I'm burnt out. I don't even have a plan for me right now. I don't even know how to rest. That's another thing. So many parents don't even rest. They're always worried about the next thing, always jumping up, cleaning up, work. This, you leave work and you be at home working all over again. So it's really a huge case of burnout that's really making some parents not be able to be there for their children to make a plan or a strategy for their household.
But we know that God, he already what we need, it's inside of us. But
Yes.
we now, like you say, people are working one, two, three jobs. They come in, get a couple hours of sleep, and then they
Hmm.
go on to the next job. Or that career
Yes.
is so important to to have that career by any means necessary. They say the kids say, I'm gonna get mine by any means necessary. So do the parents. And as a matter of fact, the parents are the role model for the kids,
Yes.
that they see how to what extreme the parents will go through. And so they mimic that. And they're doing it with the internet, with the social media, everything is being copied from the parents. Now they might say, I don't be on the internet. I mean, social media, but you do go with that career of yours and you work 12, 14 hours, and then you come home and you're still working.
Mm.
And so I mean, what do you think about that?
Yes, a lot of times social media is truly raising the new generations. If the parents not at home, or if they are at home, they're too tired to even engage with their children. What you got in your hand? A phone. You're handing the children the phone, and there you go. That's their babysitter. The phone is babysitting these children. They get on the internet looking at all types of different demonic things and then they start engaging in those demonic things because guess what? Now the internet is their parent. That phone is their mama because the phone is always talking to them. The phone is always engaging with them. The phone is giving them a game to play, so they're playing with their mama. So that's truly what needs to be a generational turnaround. Is truly getting the phones, these electronics out of these children's hands, communicating with them, seeing how their day has been, showing them different things to do with different books or different games, handheld games they can do at the house, cardboard games, paper games, whatever. Just doing something different that does not involve electronics.
But the problem with that is you trying to slow down something with the kids, but you're not willing to do the same yourself.
Hmm.
Everybody is sitting in the living room.
Mm,
Everybody is on their device.
right.
No more sitting at the table, not even long enough to share a meal.
Wow.
Everybody get their food and they go to their room or they go
Mhm.
to their own separate corner.
Yeah.
What is got that going to brew but more separation within the family? One thing about COVID made everybody get together. Everybody was at home. You didn't go to school, you didn't go to work. You worked from home. So you saw each other all day, every day.
Right, and that's where you got those high divorce rates too after COVID, because they finally found out who they married.
Yes.
They had more time together. They weren't rushing to work, rushing to after school projects and things going on. Everybody was in the household, and you really saw you had to deal with your stuff. You had to
Right.
face your failures and say, "Oh my God, I don't know who I married." We've grown apart. Some people, not everybody, but some people, it was like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, right now, this summit that we're going to have in September,
Hmm.
it is about putting the community and the family together.
Yes.
It's about getting an opportunity to let your young person say what it is that they've been keeping inside.
Mm.
But we're going to have a mediator, a speaker who's going to speak on something that resonates with you, the viewer. And then we're going to we got tables where our speakers will be sitting.
Mm.
And there's going to be a time when you're going to be able to go to that table if that person has spoke on something that you resonate with, and then we can take it a little further. It's
Okay.
not going to be just about everybody's just speaking and then leaving. No,
Good.
we're gonna take it a little further. And so Jessica is one of our speakers. And so that's why I'm bringing everybody, all the speakers on here to take the time so that you can kind of get a little piece of where they're going to be speaking from.
Yes.
And so, Jessica, what advice do you have for parents who want to create a positive and nurturing environment for their children? Focus on faith, trust, love, and health. And look, we got to make kids realize that their health is more important than wealth, because we are losing a lot of young people at very early ages to heart attacks.
Hmm. Absolutely.
What used to be considered an old person's disease.
Mm,
So,
that's it.
okay, yeah. What do you say about that?
Well, where you just left off at, I know a lot of times as parents, I know we get all the snacks or all the food put in the cabinet, but then we're giving our child access to all these different junk food types. Because I did the same thing. I was busy and I would put all the food in there, just saying, "Okay, you get your little snack here," and my son became overweight. So after that, I said, "You know what? I'm not gonna put all this junk in my house." Because that's a decision that I need to make. So that's why I did. I started cooking meals and saving them in the refrigerator and start just fixing him a plate and say, okay, this is all you're gonna eat. You're not getting anything else after that. Drink you a bottle of water if you're still hungry. Drink you another bottle of water, and that should be fine. And I started doing that. When I tell you, my son is tall and slim there, and I look back at the pictures 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh my God, like you just never know. You think you loving the child, you just feeding them, make sure they're not hungry, but you're really making them obese. So that's another thing we have to just be mindful of, the saturated fats and the trans fats that we're putting in our children's bodies. And those chips and Takis, that's another one that's been giving those children those heart attacks. It's just too many. It's too many. I would say it's too many triglycerides. It's too much sodium in those different snacks that we don't pay attention to. Too many sugars as well that really decrease their stamina, decreases their energy, and also decreases their mental aspect. They can't focus with all the sugar in their bodies.
And so you see, generational turnaround isn't just about um, problems with mothers and children and parents. It's about turning around any negative that's that's depreciating the value of life.
Yes.
And we got to start with our young people. Now, I have one speaker, and she calls herself Virtual Granny, and she lost her son early, and then she lost her grandchildren because they had to move after that, and so she started connecting with them uh, on TikTok, and she had already started with her grandchildren, teaching them manners, teaching them etiquette, teaching them the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And we all learn that golden rule very early. And I wish that they would start kids with the, the manners and the etiquette and the golden rule at 5 when they come over to kindergarten again, like they did us. Now, you might be too young to know about that, Jessica. Can you hear? Uh-oh. Jessica seems like she's having temporary um, problems with her equipment, but while she's doing that, I just want to tell everybody thank you. And I want you to know that she is going to be one of the speakers. And we've got very little time right now, and we're trying to uh, talk a little bit about everything, uh, just enough to get your attention. There is not a whole lot of time, we've got to take advantage of this opportunity on September the 6th and the 7th. God has given me two mandates. Activate Your Faith was the first, and I did that was during COVID. And I told as many people, and I got it. I was on a program, a TV show, Believe in Your Dreams, and Activate Your Faith was my TV show. And I was seen, I was seen all over, all country in every state. And you know what? I got that mandate across. Now, I want to tell you all that my new mandate is generational turnaround, and I will not stop until we have made a generational turnaround. I don't know what's going on with my equipment, but I'm going to stop it now because it's getting worse. But I just want to tell you all thank you, thank you, thank you for spending this time with me. Um, the, oh, I don't know what's happening, you all, but the devil is a liar. We are still here. Are you still here, Jessica?
I'm still here. Look, it flashed off and then we popped right back on. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. But we know good and well that what we're talking about, see, the trickster does not like us to talk about what's going to change the trajectory of this country. What we're talking about right now. And I don't know, we are close to the time, but not there
Hmm.
yet. So I want you, Jessica, to tell people how they can get in touch with you. And I mean, what's going on with Jessica right now, today? What have you got going on?
Look, speak of generational turnaround. I am a newly pregnant mother with my husband. I am 7 months pregnant. Yeah, so we are bringing a new baby girl into the world with my son. We are breaking generational curses and bringing up our family in the faith of the Lord with the love of God. And we're excited about that. And my due date is in July.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. So that's what I'm doing
Um,
today. I'm truly thinking about the next generation of how we're gonna get this little girl
yeah,
in here with this little boy and truly have her set up for success within faith first. You know, because that's what we want to start. We want to start with faith first, and then the rest God's gonna put it right in line where it needs to be. So I said I'm not stressing over anything. I'm not gonna overthink it this time. I'm truly gonna say, God, just lead me and guide me. Because one thing about it, I can't control everything. Everything is in your hand. You take control.
that's right. Oh, that's a beautiful. Oh, that is so beautiful. And, and this is a time because, like you say, you done broke generational curses, and we talking about generational turnaround where
Turn
you're gonna you're gonna see and talk to your daughter. She's gonna get to a certain age, and she's gonna say, "Mama, you are responsible for the generational turnaround in our family." I'm so glad and so proud because she wanted, hopefully she won't even get uh the opportunity to see what the mess that this country is in right now. By the time she gets
Absolutely.
to an age where she's observant of what this world is about,
Hmm.
it's not going to be where it is right now. It's going to be
Amen.
make a turnaround.
That's it.
So, and I've read on your bio
Hmm.
that she shares her extensive expertise with corporate and nonprofit agencies.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
I want you to know that I've just went to nonprofit. Generational
Oh,
Turnaround
awesome.
is the nonprofit, and I'm waiting for my 501(c)(3) with, is that right? What,
That's it. 3C.
501(c)(3). Yes. And you know what? Because in my mission is to help young men in the prison uh, system when they get out. I am going to supply transitional resources. My ultimate is
Wow.
to supply transitional housing,
Uh-huh.
parenting, because it's for men who have children. Because, they got a lot of organizations that are helping women, single women
Right.
who that has children, but not so much for the men who are getting out of prison
Hmm.
and want to reconnect with their children. So that's
Wow.
what God put on my heart, and that's
Hmm.
where I am looking for right now the resources to make this happen. So I would gladly glean off of whatever advice or that you have.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. I can actually speak to you after this about one group that I just met in Wiggins, Mississippi, and it's for males, and they help males with to reduce recidivism, stop going back and forth to
Yes,
jail, and they also help
yes.
them gain the faith and gain housing after they've been jail.
Oh,
So I look forward
yeah.
to yeah.
And if anybody that's watching this program right now, if you you are involved with any transitional resource that we can help these young men coming out of the system. We don't know how long they've been in there, but we want to change. We want a generational turnaround in their life. So they will be able to one day take maybe, what do you call it? Where they can be part, oh Lord, sometimes my mind, they can be a parent to the child
Okay.
because it's, I know it hurts. It's got to hurt that you have nothing to offer. And then
Mm,
another thing we want to do is help the, get their record expunge, I believe it's called.
yes, ma'am. That's right.
Expunge. Yes.
Record expungement.
Be-
Yes.
yes. Because I have a nephew that's been 17 when he got in trouble,
Wow.
and he's 40 something now, and it's
Mm,
still on his record.
record.
So to get a good job, he's not, soon as the record comes up, what he did at 17, then they won't hire him.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
but he did his time, and I don't think that's fair. And it's a lot of young men who says that. So I hope that if there's anybody out there that knows about getting the expunged, who's willing to be a mentor to these men after they get out, who has something to add to their lives to make it more productive. So thank you, Jessica. I want you to take this couple of minutes and say to my viewers what
Yes.
you're thinking about and what you're uh, going to be able to help them with after you leave here.
I'm sorry, you cut off.
Uh-oh. I want you to talk to the viewers the last couple minutes and just let them know who you are and what you will be able to do with them, for them, and how they can get in touch with you. How
Okay.
you on social media, whichever way.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, you guys can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Jessica James Henry. Also at Trauma Breakthrough on Instagram as well. And you'll see my Bitly link has everything on there from my bookstore all the way to how to book me for speaking engagements. I currently work full time now for a nonprofit organization, and I do workshops and presentations all the way up until July, my due date, and then I'll be back in October scheduling with all hands on deck.
All right. I'm able to leave that little girl by then.
Yes, ma'am. She'll be
All
here
right.
then. Look, I got my little one. He just came in from basketball from his basketball game. He's like, she should be done by now. So he hopped in the car.
All right. Don't worry. We are, baby. Thank you for letting me spend that time with your mom. And we're going to spend some more time together, Jessica.
Absolutely, I
Let
look
me,
forward to it.
yeah. uh, I pray that today has been better than yesterday, but not as good as tomorrow. I pray that tomorrow will bring forth a double portion of blessings in the form of opportunity that you never saw coming. Good night, good night, good night,
Good night.
good night. All right, let me get this going. Mm. I want everybody to see how they can get their tickets for the Generational Turnaround Summit.
You done?